Hello, everybody.
Hola.
We are Late
Uh,
Night Snacks, and it is yet another Thursday.
it is. It's a
Yes.
special Thursday.
So tonight we're going to be talking about the new Pixar movie Onward. Yes, and
Guardian.
there he is. There's
Oh,
Ian.
Guardian. I lost the stand. Oh, well. So, Don and I had a chance to see Onward today,
Yes, we did.
and I'm not sure how you want to break this down. It's our first real review and discussion on the film. Um, so we can do it a lot of ways. I don't know about people feel about spoilers or first thoughts, or we'll play it by ear. I guess we'll just give our general view first,
Yeah.
and then let people know that we're going to talk spoilers of the film or whatever. And if they want to leave or they're listening and haven't seen it yet and want to leave, then
Right.
then they can. And then I also want to touch on some bigger issues about what's happening to the theaters, to movies and stuff. And
Hey,
what's up,
BRT. It's good to
BRT?
see you.
Because there's some startling stuff happening at the theaters these days, and I think there's a lot of reasons into play for this. And it's heartbreaking that this is happening at this time with some of these certain films coming out, but we'll talk about that in a second. But
Right.
first off, Onward, what did you think?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Absolutely. I'm changed.
Yeah,
I'm
I
changed.
loved it a lot.
Yeah, this film is it's frustrating. It's unfortunate. I think that this film is I'm biased, but I think this film may be Pixar's best
Uh
as
huh.
far as it's well rounded. It was long. I felt it was a bit long. That hello
Hi,
than
Buffy.
it needed to be, but it has so much going for it. Number one, it has the Pixar heart. It, it,
Mm.
it's a cry movie, an ugly cry movie, but a good cry. It's a bittersweet feeling. It's
I did
it's
good. I didn't cry this time. I'll probably
Oh, I
cry again
did.
if I
Oh,
watch it.
I
If
did.
I watch it
I
again.
cried. I cried three times. I cried in the beginning. I cried right, and we'll talk about spoilers. But right, kind of in the end, I was ugly crying at the end. But
Yeah.
there's a bigger issue about that, and we'll talk about why I ugly cried. Um, but they created a whole new world for this. I mean,
Hmm.
this is kind of like Monsters Inc. or the Finding Nemo world where it's
Right.
outside of regular land and earth and whatever is its own fantasy world, which could be so built upon if they wanted to. There's so much that they can explore from the past, present, and future in this world that they did. So they opened themselves up to a lot of sequels. However, we'll see what the box office does this weekend for it.
Mhm.
But I think this may be Pixar's first financial failure, and that's devastating
That's
because
sad
this
because
film
it's
is
really
so
good.
good. This film, I would say, if you wanted to top tier this film, like I said, I'm biased, and I'll say right now, it's probably my favorite Pixar film. But if you're a regular Pixar going, it's got to be in your top five, top 10. I
Hmm.
mean, it's such a fantastic movie. It, it has great characters. No character was left behind. Even your side characters, like the new dad, or the what was her the Manicore
Yeah.
bar lady. All of these side characters were fully developed and fully realized, and you understood who they were and where they were coming from. And even the little pixies, when the little pixie bike gang got into it, they were you knew who they were and their characters. The writing on this film is stellar. It's
Mhm.
absolutely amazing that what the writing staff did with this film. Ian and Barley, who is Tom Holland and Chris Pratt's characters, the two brothers, you could not ask for a better pair of rom-com comedy boys,
Yeah.
families, brothers, siblings. The chemistry. This film is almost perfect. I would say that where this film kind of lacks a little bit is it's long. It's a little on the long end.
Yeah. They could have shortened it a little bit, but
Yeah, when you get into the quest in the middle, it's like there's a couple false kind of climaxes in the quest. So there's a little bit of a tease and a little bit of a letdown when they're trying to climax the film and we're not even close to being there. The climax is very very different from the quest. The
right.
climax comes later at the end. So they could have done a little bit of cleanup there, but I'll take it for the heart that this film
Oh,
was.
I wasn't disappointed at all. They could have
You know,
done a little bit of changing on that, but
yeah, yeah.
it doesn't really
Uh,
hurt it. Just makes it a little bit longer.
if you have siblings, I encourage you to go see this
Yeah.
film, regardless of whatever relationship, because this film is being advertised. What little it's being advertised, but with what the film being advertised is being advertised as a father-son story, and it's not that.
But
That is
it's
not
not,
what this story is about.
or it's not necessarily just that.
It's
It's
about brothers. It's about siblings. And really, at the heart of it, it's about the relationship that these two brothers have without a father, and that's where it comes down to. And it's just, and right now for me in my life, with I mean, I'm going through some shit of my own. Just found out about my birth mother. My father right now just got out of surgery 20 minutes ago, and literally he's
really
in a mega comprehensive surgery at 80 years old. I mean, it's really really critical right now. We don't know what in the hell's happening, but he just got out, so I'm still waiting on calls for that. Watching this movie at the same time, and then the last year of my life, before we found out about my mother, I've had no relationship with my sister because of certain fallings out that we've had family wise. So you can see how this film really affected, because my sister in this was basically my mother in the absence of a mother, and
right.
that really is what this film touches on, is a sibling, the sibling relationships in the absence of a father. And oh god, it was just amazing, absolutely amazing. I
Yeah,
can't
see,
recommend it
I
highly
have
enough.
I have
I have
I have a
word of mouth
different
out.
I have a different upbringing than you because my family is really close.
Uh-huh.
Um, I mean, yeah, I just recently lost two of my brothers within a year, within a little over a year's time. So I'm still dealing with that. I did get a message today from one of our childhood friends that actually they're rebuilding the baseball field at our high school that all of us went to.
Uh-huh.
They're rebuilding it, and he actually bought a couple of bricks and had my brother's names etched
Oh,
on them.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
because
It's just cool.
he knew I couldn't afford to do it, and he did it for me and my dad.
That's
So
amazing. And
we have that
your
now.
dad's still around?
Yeah,
So my dad is like, we'll see what happens by the end of the day. It's
yeah.
right.
My dad just had a birthday. He just turned
Wow.
78.
Oh, so my dad's 76. So our dad's about the same age. But my dad's going through this comprehensive back surgery today. Why? I don't know. It's crazy. But we'll see what happens.
Well, I
So,
got my fingers crossed. Hopefully, everything will turn out the way you want
but
it.
but again, I don't know. It's really hard to say. I don't
Yeah.
want to get too much dynamics, but it's hard to say what's best for him.
Hmm.
It's but I personally feel that having the surgery was a big mistake. But again, it's not my body, it's not my health, not not what I'm dealing with. But anyway, that's neither
Anyway,
here
this
nor there.
movie is really sweet. You guys really need to see it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason I bring up my family drama is because of how it emotionally impacted me with what's going on in my life. And I think that if you have family relationships or family, even if you just have a sibling, you should see this film, because
Mhm.
regardless of your relationships for your films, it'll touch you in some way. This film has got something for everybody.
Hi,
It's got,
Kaylee.
hey
Kaylee.
Kaylee, what's up? Hey, did you hear from anybody on your grandfather on his surgery? He got out of surgery, by the way. That's all I know. Um, anyway, this film has got fantasy. It's got, if you're a Harry Potter fan, it's got magic. If you're a
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons fans, the whole film is based on an old lore of Dungeons and Dragons with the quests and the wizards and choosing a character and all that stuff. It's all there. So if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you'll see the humor and what they're trying to do with that. But the coolest thing that this movie did was it had its own complete magical fantasy world that adapted and became the real world. And it was becoming the real world with all the real world technology and all that stuff is really funny, because they found what they lost. They by becoming modernized and becoming being able to use regular lights and being able to use washing machines and having newspapers delivered and all these regular modern domestic things that we do, they
Mhm.
realized that they lost who they were as people, who they were as a culture, and the fantasy and the magic. And by the end of the film, you'll see how they resolve that and how they change that around. But it's really neat to see. It reminded me of the Flintstones.
Yeah.
That's what it really reminded me of, that you have this whole different type of world that has modernized itself within its own structure of a world. It's very, very Flintstones to me. And I'm a huge Flintstones fan too, so that didn't hurt.
I think my favorite part was the Pixies. the Pixie Bike Gang. I loved that part. That was just
Well, however, the writers, what they did with this is they took every stereotype and turn it on its head.
yeah.
There's humor of every stereotype, and you can see. I've got to watch it several more times to see all the ins and outs of it. But like what Don is talking about, is there's a little biker gang, and you've seen this in 1,000 movies. The guys pull up in front of the bar, and all the little bikes are lined up outside. Somebody hits one of the bikes, scratches one of the bikes. There's a bike brawl or whatever. Well, those bikers are there in this movie, but they're little bitty pixies. But they still act really, bad and tough and everything, and they help with the adventure and everything. So it's really cute. And then you have your stereotypical cop who ends up being not such a cop and have a heart, and yeah, it's so intelligently written, and not just on the story, the family story, because the family story comes from a place of real love from these two writers. They recently lost their father, or they had lost their. I had to do some research, but they lost their father previously, and then we're still dealing with that loss, or something like that. And they wrote this film based on their emotion, and so that emotion of a lost parent or whatever really comes through, because it's based on what these writers were actually feeling out and going through. So the heart of that is there. The relationship of the two brothers is there, because these two brothers wrote this, and they knew what they were going for. But what I was more impressed about than just that basis was the world that they built. I mean, within 2 hours they really introduced Pixar and Disney, and to a completely whole new world that we've not seen the likes of since like Monsters Inc. And I'd even go out on a limb and say this is so much more fully realized than the Monsters Inc. world. Then Monsters Inc. had two movies to base their world off of, and they didn't really create a world outside of the factory in the first one, and then outside of the college in the second one. This one really gives you in quick throughout the course of the movie, really gives you a sense of the whole world, and who these people are, because it deals with a quest, and the quest has to go through the town and go through the world and everything. So it if this film was like making $1 billion this weekend, you see so many different spin-off TV shows for this, and different books and different comics and whatever from this film, because they have such a fully realized world. Unfortunately, I think this film is going to get lost.
That's sad, because it's
Go
a
on
really good film.
I think it's going to be Disney's or Pixar's lowest performer. I think they're going to look at it as a failure, and instead of looking at all of the stuff that contributed to its failure and ask themselves why, they're just going to consider it a failure and sweep it under the rug, and that sucks.
Kaylee's got a message for you. Do you want me to put it up, or can you read it?
No, wait a second. It's fine.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kaylee.
What's up, Kaylee? Go see Onward. Ugly Cry Girl. Ugly Cry. I sent Kaylee a picture after I was crying. Ugly Cry. But I keep mentioning this right now. Okay, everybody can do this if you're listening. Go to where you buy movie tickets. This is a good kind of thing. You go to where you buy movie tickets. Look up the first show of Onward tonight, which is we saw an early screening of the first show of Onward. Is usually like 6 or 7, between 6 and 8 in your local town. If you look at not the IMAX or 3D shows, but just the regular Dolby or regular digital shows, you'll see that here's my theater right now. The first show tonight on the regular digital screen today at 8 p.m. There is not one. Oh, you can't really see it. There's no. Yeah, not one. Not one. And what do you do?
And the full release is tonight, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, here's the 9 p.m.
Tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight. The full day release is tomorrow.
Okay.
But tonight is its first night screenings. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what. Like the 3D is only got 4 tickets sold in my theater. This is unheard of for a Disney Pixar film. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was like performing badly. This is not performing at all.
Well, I'm hoping that it's because in my area, I live right down the street from a movie theater, and that movie theater's been open for years, but they do most of their business on the weekends. So hopefully, um, there'll be a pickup this weekend
Well,
for it.
I'm hoping that there's some word of mouth that people that have seen it like us are spreading the word about how incredibly wonderful this film is. Um, but there's a couple factors that there's just several factors that I think have contributed to the big picture of this. And number one is they did no marketing for this film leading up to this film. There was very extremely little marketing.
Mhm.
Thank you. Um, they they absolutely ignored it
Which
when
is
other big
that's
summer
so
films
odd for a
were coming out. There was no trailers.
Pixar film because they usually market the hell out of those things
And there
normally.
was nothing. I mean, nothing. First marketing that I saw, a big push for marketing was this week
Mm.
when the Happy Meal started, and you started to see some trailers online. But like usually, you go on Facebook, you go on social media, and when a Pixar film's coming out, or a Star Wars film's coming out, or a big Disney film's coming out,
Yeah, it's
every other pop up
everywhere.
will be about this. Nothing, nothing on Onward. What's nothing.
I mean, because
I know that there was some special clips in one of the late night shows, but still, just
I even
you
remember when Toy Story 4 came out, it was all over the place.
all over the place.
All over the
You would go
place.
into any store and all the toys and the shirts and the t-shirts and costumes and toys and all that was there. It's hard to find an onward figure right now.
Mhm.
And Disney's releasing for the first time in history two full-length brand new Pixar films in 1 year. The next Pixar film is called Soul and it's coming out in November. Um, did they pick one of them to put the money behind and chose Soul was better?
I don't
That
know.
may have been. And then there's also the big, huge shakeup at Disney with Bob Iger creating this new grand poobah position for. We'll talk about that here 1 second.
Yeah,
But the whole upper management of Disney had just been shook up, and I know that there's a lot of financial instability as far as big budgets and stuff going around at Disney right now. So that might have been part of it. And then there's coronavirus. And the
mm,
coronavirus is probably the biggest contributing factor right now this weekend because it's it's so uncertain in the news right now. People are getting so much misinformation. People are getting so much fear and scare tactics from Trump and from the media and from all this stuff. And people are not properly informed.
it's
People are social media misinformation or
if you
misfear,
use common sense, you'll be fine.
and it's just and it's frustrating. But
Yeah.
people are basically staying home, and that's probably a huge contributing factor as well. But I wouldn't say that that's such a major contributing factor until today,
Hmm.
because we're talking about pre-sale of pre-tickets when usually, like when fucking Rise of Skywalker came out, is
Yeah.
on the heels of Last Jedi, which is the worst considered Star Wars movie ever, the most controversial Star Wars movie ever. That's still sold out. Toy Story 4 comes out. That's still sold out in pre-sales of first night. This is not even doing poorly. This is no ticket sales, none. So I don't know where it recovers from. I don't know where it goes from no ticket sales to doing poorly even. Um, it's going to
I
be
mean,
very interesting when the numbers come in tonight for its opening night release, and then when the numbers come in at the end of the weekend, what it actually did. I mean, is pre-ticket sales kind of a thing from the past because people are uncertain about their day to day? I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
hope that with the coronavirus thing going around, I don't see it getting any better because I don't see people rushing outdoors to do a bunch of stuff nowadays.
Hmm.
But maybe they'll do a big, huge home video release or a Disney Plus big release or something
I hope so
to
because
make something really special out of it.
otherwise,
Because it breaks my heart to know that this film is this good. And yeah, I'm biased. It's Tom Holland's. I think about Tom Holland. Tom Holland was on the red carpet in London promoting the film last week at the end of the week, and he was talking to this reporter, and the reporter was talking a big old long sit down interview with him, and they asked Tom what this felt like. Tom has played Spider Man. Tom
hmm,
has been, this brand new kid on the scene, went from zero to hero in zero flat seconds. Mega A-list star now. And he said doing this film and coming to the premiere for the first time was the first pinch me moment of his entire life. That he couldn't believe that he was this lucky to do this.
right.
And this is going to be such a failure for him. It breaks my heart. Yeah, Pixar films
I
don't
don't think,
fail.
and I don't think it's him because
Oh no, it's not.
it, it's
I
not him.
feel bad for him. I totally feel bad for him. He was incredible in the film. He's absolutely perfectly cast for this film. It's just, but if we're talking about regular Disney animation, it would be a different argument. Regular Disney animation, they're kind of touch and go. You got your Frozen's, whatever. You
Mhm.
got, but then movies like Princess and the Frog, they're kind of Tangled was kind of eh.
Yeah,
Pixar films don't fail. They've got everything behind them. They have they win the freaking Academy Award every single year that they're out for for best animated feature. Toy Story 4 was not supposed to win the Academy Award this
I
year and
know.
never did.
I
It
mean,
still could.
I'm not gonna lie. I have mixed feelings about Monsters University because I was not impressed with
Mhm.
that one, but that's just me.
Still did really well. They don't fail. See, financially, this film is set to fail, and it's baffling to me because this film, like you said, over so many of them. I mean, I forget. I pull up a list, but I forget how many they have. There's only a handful that I can think of off the top of my head that are even questionable. The rest of them are hit the Pixar
Well,
magic.
yeah. Every time a Pixar movie comes out, it's a gold. It's gold. It strikes gold every single time.
And this one is up there at the top of the top. It's absolutely phenomenal. But
The last really big ones that there were, it was Incredibles 2,
mhm, that was great too.
and it was great. I don't know what happened with this one, but it's just it's amazing because I didn't hear anything about it anywhere.
Exactly. Disney put nothing behind this, nothing, until like the very last minute. And it's like, okay, so you had Toy Story 4, great. Incredibles 2, great. Coco, fantastic. Um, those are the shorts. Um, Finding Dory, Inside Out.
Hmm.
The Good Dinosaur, that one was critically questioned, but I thought The Good Dinosaur was amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
Good Dinosaur was probably the lowest financial performer, I would think.
Mhm.
Maybe Cars 3,
Cars 3
2.
was kind of iffy. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just didn't do as well in the box office. But
Yeah, the Monsters University. I had to look at box office. Wally, Bugs Life, Toy Story, all the Toy Stories, Nemo's. Um,
um,
yeah, so it's like it's a it's a shame that the world well, lost something. That the world everything collided in this one sentence to put this movie where it's at a zero ticket sales on opening night. So for those listening, if you're listening later, if you're listening now live, go see this
go
film,
see it. You
please.
will not be disappointed.
I'm going. I saw an early screener of it. I'm going to the theater tomorrow to go.
I will definitely see it again. I will gladly pay to see it
Yeah,
again. It's extremely entertaining. I think that kids would love it.
it's like
So go out and
yeah.
see it.
See, and this is what's frustrating about this is because these studios, especially the big monster that is Disney, um, they look at this stuff in black and white and by the numbers only, and they
Mhm.
don't look at everything that's involved. And part of the huge part of this is their fault. They're stupid.
It's possible. You're right,
Yep.
BRT. They
Yeah.
might.
Mhm. Yeah, they may be wanting their feature films to fail in the theater to drive people to online service. And like I said, maybe they're going to use Onward. And VRT brings up a good point. There was rumor back in the day that Rise of Skywalker or Frozen 2 was going to be a big launch for Disney Plus. And basically, what they were going to do is they were going to release the movie in the theater and the same week drop it on Disney Plus. And as an experiment, they were going to see if people flock to memberships for Disney Plus to see the film on Disney Plus or go to the theater and see it. Well,
Right.
now if they're setting up their own failure for Onward, maybe this is the culprit. Maybe this is the one that's going to be dropped on Disney Plus this week,
Maybe. I hope so.
use the virus as an excuse. I'm staying home, coronavirus. So I didn't get to see Onward, see it now, blah blah. And then they make a fortune in new memberships. They're great. They did something special with it. As
Well,
as
I
crooked
hope
as
they
that
do
is.
that because more people need to see this.
Yeah, absolutely. This this film needs to be a word of mouth film. It needs to the word needs to get out there because they didn't put the word out there. No one knew this was like I just told my sister. I texted my sister afterwards, and I said, please go see Onward. It's important to me. It's important to us. You'll understand when you see the film. It means a lot. And I said, and please go alone. I said, I don't want you influenced by anything else. Just go alone and watch it alone. It means a lot. She said, okay. Then she texts me back like two seconds later. What's Onward? She's like, people aren't hearing about this stuff.
Yeah,
You go to
people are
I
not
went
hearing
to
about
McDonald's today. I went to McDonald's today to get my little Happy Meal and get my little toy and stuff to get all excited about the movie.
it. Yeah.
There's not even any promotional material in McDonald's for the McDonald's promotion. It's just you happen so when you order a Happy Meal, you get an Onward toy. There's no posters, there's no flyers, there's no special nothing. I didn't even know McDonald's was doing Onward toys.
Right.
It's
I didn't know until I saw your picture today.
yeah.
You posted.
Kaylee told me the other day the kids called me and said what they got in their Happy Meal toy. I had no idea, and I've been following this film. I've been following this film religiously because of Tom Holland, and it's like, Buffy, how's it doing over in your neck of the woods? Did it open today? And is it doing anything?
I don't think. I think she was saying something about it doesn't open for them until the 6th.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the real opening date. And again, maybe that's the case too. With everything that's going on, that this is a kids film, and these later night showings on a Thursday night is just not a big push for people for pre-sales.
That's possible. That's why I'm thinking hopefully this weekend it'll pick up because
Yeah, I'm hoping word of mouth.
Yeah.
You know, but again, I don't know how many people are staying home because of this virus. I really don't. I mean, people are out there like Larry was telling me today. There's a jetliner that the flight is normally like booked, and somebody making a tweet about a flight or something, and that the flight's less than a third full. When it's normally at this time booked, it's absolute flight.
Right.
That, you know, whole jetliners are being parked and stuff because there's just no flights going out. And it's like, wow. I mean, this is a global threat and a big global thing that's unfortunately so incredibly poorly mishandled.
Mm-hmm.
Not only from us but from other countries in the world too. And that instead of uniting on a united front for everybody to figure this out, like we have many times in the past with big infections, everybody's just gone stupid around this one for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the stupidity and because of the mismanagement is where people are going to die, and where mass casualties are going to happen from something like this, is because people just are misinformed.
Mm-hmm.
They're completely totally misinformed. And then of course we've got our stupid fucking president out there that is not helping the financial side of things, and not getting supporting the CDC for getting testing, and supporting CDC for what kind of treatment they want. They're basically saying that private insurances to pay for everything, and it's just ridiculous. 6 months from now, they're going to be regretting what in the world's going on, because 6 months from now, it's going to be a tragedy. Okay, good over here.
Good.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. That's right, because Disney Plus launches. It may launch on Disney Plus tomorrow. Oh my God, I did not think about that, because
Wait,
Disney Plus launches in England on the 6th.
Has Disney Plus even launched in your
No,
area?
the March 6th it launches.
Ooh.
That's the same day that this one comes out. It may actually be
okay.
on Disney Plus. Oh my God, I'd be so excited if it does.
Yay! Let's hope it does that.
Yes, that will be cool.
Yes, that will be. That's now it makes.
That would be really cool.
Now in a way
Really,
it
really
makes
cool.
sense. Let's
Okay, so
that way.
Here is the worldwide grosses for the Pixar films, and this budget. Okay, so worldwide. Let me see the lowest one. Wow, really? 3? Okay, 3. Good Dinosaur. Okay, 3. So Good Dinosaur was the lowest performer,
right,
of Pixar films at 332 million worldwide.
Huh.
Onward's not going to get there if it's like this. So, but if they're using Onward as a Disney Plus thing, I think that's special. That makes this film really, really, really cool. If they do that. So hopefully, fingers
I guess
crossed.
we're just gonna have to watch Disney Plus and see what happens.
Have they advertised?
Did they advertise it all?
What was the advertising? Did they say anything about Onward on Disney Plus? Wow, their budget.
Because
God damn, the
if
budget
that's the case, that would make a lot of sense.
Yep. The budget for these films are 200 million. They cost that freaking much to budget these films.
Yeah.
Jeez, Lord,
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Toy Story 4 and Incredibles 2 made over $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Coco almost made it to $1 billion,
Almost.
whereas Cars 3 only did 383 million.
Yeah, Cars 3, that was the one that it wasn't bad.
I
It
like
just
Cars
didn't
3.
do it well. Huh?
I liked Cars 3.
I did
Cars
too.
3 and Good Dinosaur are the lowest performers. And then you got
Wait,
Cars 1, surprisingly.
was Good Dinosaur, was that a full length movie or was that just a short?
It was a full length
Full
movie.
length?
Loved it. Good Dinosaur was really, really simple though, really young based. Good Dinosaur was basically another kind of Lion King-esque type film. Boy, wait. It opens later today, bearing in mind it's 2 o'clock in the morning. No advertising campaign, trailers, magazines, nothing. But I thought you said they were advertising it because of Disney Plus. So they're not advertising it in England.
Huh.
I'm confused.
I just think that's a missed opportunity, big time.
Well, okay, let's talk about Disney for a second. What's going on in Disney? So, drops overnight last week that Bob Iger has quit Disney, quit CEO position immediately from Disney. Okay, well, first off, it's crock shit. He didn't just drop everything and say, "Well, I'm done and I quit." No, he created a brand new Grand Poobah type position for himself, and he basically created this executive of entertainment or some bullshit. He's still the new Walt Disney, and he put in charge the guy who used to run the amusement parks, Bob something or other.
I remember his name. I know it's Nate first.
Yeah, Bob something. Another Bob in charge as CEO. So this new Bob has got this boss, Bob Iger, but Bob Iger no longer has to be the bad guy. He no longer has to oversee budgets. He no longer has to hire and fire people. He no longer has to be in charge of the Kathleen Kennedys and Kevin Feige's and all that. He just now gets to sit and be it's creative control, executive creative control or whatever of Disney. Meaning he's the new Walt Disney. And there's a new CEO that's running the business side of things. Now this guy, this new Bob, that's running the side of things. He was the executive running the amusement parks, and from what I hear on the business side of it is he's the most frugal. Oh, the 25th. Oh wow, okay.
Wow.
He's the most frugal of any of the executives in Disney. He's cuts corners every which way. Because remember, the Disney parks, that's the bread and butter for Disney. That's where all the huge money is at, is in the amusement parks, Disneyland, Disney World, etc. And he was supposedly the person responsible for running those the last decade, and has been like extremely frugal with spending and money and kind of running those parks almost to the ground. That when Galaxy's Edge opened up here in Anaheim or in LA, and it was a disaster with its opening and all this stuff, that's that man's fault. And then they ended up firing a different person that quote unquote was responsible for that. So I think all the franchises may hit some sort of snag because of this guy. This guy's pretty cutthroat from what I understand. And again, at the end of the day, Disney doesn't care about its fans. Disney doesn't care about its franchises or its characters. Disney cares about the bottom line, about the dollar. And that's where we as fans either are going to support or not support that kind of mentality. Because like look what happened with Star Wars. I mean, they ran Star Wars right into the ground, and it had nothing to do with it, but they continued to run it into the ground. Why? Because Last Jedi made $1 billion. Rise of Skywalker made $1 billion. The money kept rolling in, so they didn't care. They didn't care what the divided fans or split fans up. So, although all Bob Iger wanted was to launch the streaming service, and he got it. And how he did that, he had like a decades-long plan where he bought Pixar, he bought Lucasfilm, he bought 20th Century Fox, all to have this big catalog to launch a streaming service. And there you go, he launched the streaming service. But then Marvel did what Marvel did. and Marvel became the greatest franchise in the world. So Disney's now riding piggyback on the shoulders of Marvel. But these other people are suffering because these big executive orders are coming down, like, no budget for because I could just see this guy saying, we're not gonna advertise Onward. Why would we need to advertise Onward? It's a Pixar film. It's gonna win Best Picture next year. Just let it speak for itself. Well, here we are. No ticket sales on opening night for Onward. So again,
Hmm.
I don't know the reason. I may wake up and be totally surprised tomorrow, and the box office rolls in worldwide and it's great, and I'll applaud it. Again, there may be a bigger plan for Onward for Disney Plus, and maybe who knows, or it may fail, and the chances are it may fail miserably. Very well could happen, and I'll be watching all the gurus that I watched on YouTube and stuff about the money side of Hollywood this weekend. See what happens. It's gonna be very interesting. Sad but interesting.
Welcome, aloha, Lorden. It's very nice to see you. We have a new visitor today.
Who's this? More of an information house, not a madhouse.
Oh,
Well,
Miss Buffy basically welcomed them to the madhouse.
welcome. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. It's an information house. It's not a madhouse today. It can be, but it's not today. We're just complaining about Hollywood that we love so much.
This is what we do.
Welcome. Yes. So if you're new here, there was no advertising. Disney Plus, big time. Nothing about Onward. See, that's how it was here. There's like literally. I mean, on any avenue of advertising that you normally see for one of these things, like the fast food promotions or the
Huh?
fucking Walmart promotion. I mean, I haven't been to a Walmart, but I mean, could you walk in the front door and see the grand Onward presentation when you walk into the front door? Probably not. Social media, like how social media has those bots that pick up, what you click on and everything. I've been following Onward for over a month, just been like following all the Twitter and the social media stuff. I go on Facebook, click on it, it doesn't bring up Onward. The bots don't recognize Onward, bring anything up for that. It's weird.
Hmm.
Literally, they put no money into this, but I'm sure it's had a
And why?
$200 million budget.
I just
That's my
don't
boy.
understand
It's
why.
very sad. Feel bad for him.
I guess we'll never really know. You're just
Well, what we will know, and this is like on the example of Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi and Solo, Solo being the big culprit, is we will see Disney's scrambled response if this tanks.
mm-hmm.
And if this tanks, you'll have the executives Disney and John Lasseter from Pixar and stuff come out and say, "Oh well, it was coronavirus, it was this, it was that, and when Soul comes out in November, we're gonna be making these changes, or hopefully coronavirus will be gone by the time Soul," whatever they're gonna say. So
Mm-hmm.
there will be a response. Disney always responds to their low performers and what they're gonna do about it. But I don't think we'll get a "we're sorry we did this" from them.
No.
They've never accepted to play like with Last Jedi. Last Jedi, they allowed Solo to take the fall for Last Jedi, is because when Solo underperformed and was considered a box office failure, they didn't blame Last Jedi, which they should have blamed Last Jedi. It was
Yeah.
their own film that created the insuccess of their follow-up films, but no, they blamed Solo. They said that nobody wanted a Solo film, and maybe the casting was wrong and the timing was wrong, and we should have put some movies as close as together. No, it was your last movie, folks. It was a crap shithole of a movie that you put out,
Yeah.
that pissed off all the fans, and
They
nobody wanted to see your movie.
didn't put enough work into that movie.
It's just
It's like they
that
were
whole,
it's like they were trying to throw stuff against the wall and see if it stuck.
well, that whole period of Star Wars is really dark, and glad it's over. And we'll see what switching gears and speaking of Star Wars. Did everybody get word of what's happening in the world of Star Wars right now? Very interesting. Very, very interesting direction. Course correction. Big,
I
huge
am
time
still
correction.
I am still and will always be an original trilogy follower.
Oh, yeah, but that original trilogy shit is gone now. It is gone. Because what they're going to do for Star Wars, well, if it fails, then we'll see what they're going to do. But new Disney Star Wars, brand new, is they're going to create their new Star Wars. And basically, it's on the heels of the Old Republic, basically 400 years before Luke Skywalker and all that stuff.
Right.
And it's going to be they're going to try to MCU it. Is basically they're going to every single item that comes out in the Star Wars front, be it a book, be it a comic book, be it a action figure, a a home release video, a Lego, whatever it is, they all are going to follow in the same vein of this new storyline. So
Oh,
it's all mass product, mass across the board. So
that's
like if you want to know the full story, you're gonna have to go buy the toys. You're gonna have to watch the videos. You're gonna have to read the books. You're gonna have to read the comics to get the full story of the movies. And
I
it,
personally think that Lucas made the biggest mistake ever
yeah,
by selling his rights to
I
Disney.
think Lucas should have left it alone at 3 films and never touched it again. That's what I think. But with this new thing, this new Republic thing or whatever it's called, they're launching it with in August with Star Wars Celebration. There's going to be a novel and a young junior novel followed by a comic book that's going to introduce us to this world and to these characters and to what's going on. It's supposed to be like a big Texas Ranger thing, you know,
Yeah,
watching the galaxy kind of thing, and I find it very interesting because if it works, then it'd be a lot of fun to follow. It'll be really cool. I'm not gonna
yeah,
look
of
at the Star
course.
Wars. I'm looking at something new because if it works, you'll have so much places to go to find additional information and to love these characters and to follow. You got comic books and novels and also if it fails, it's gonna
Oh,
fail miserably. Oh my god, that may be the end of Star Wars if it fails. It really might be.
that makes me really sad because I'm a
Yeah.
big Star Wars fan. Big.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. And my next question is, what are they going to do with the parks? Because when
Yeah,
Disney put Galaxy's Edge in Orlando and in California, they based it all off of the whole new trilogy, the Kylo Ren and Rey and First Order and all that. So the entire park is based off of that world. Well, now they're saying at Lucasfilm, they're saying those worlds are not going to exist for Lucasfilm anymore. It's all going to be on this new thing. Every single thing aspect of Star Wars is going to be in this. So they're going to go redesign Galaxy's Edge. They're going to go for a completely new overhaul with that, probably. What are they going to do with the big Millennium Falcon ride? So
I don't know.
the new Obi-Wan show. Remember how the new Obi-Wan show was like all
Yeah,
the rumors were canceled or scrapped? It wasn't. It's gone back to the drawing board, I bet you, because of this new stuff. They're probably going to use Obi-Wan's character to bridge into this old
yeah.
lore.
I was going to ask about that because I thought that they scrapped the whole show, but are they?
No, it's on schedule. They went back to rewrite the scripts, and I guarantee you they went back to rewrite the scripts because of this whole new launch.
Uh huh.
So
Yeah, but from what I understand, Ewan McGregor wants nothing to do with it. So you
no,
can't
he's fine. That's all misinformation. Ewan's fine. Ewan's actually been supporting the whole thing.
because you can't do it without him.
Yeah, no. The show will go on. There is going to be a show. It's going to be filming. I think it starts filming in August. They just went for script rewrites, and basically, it's become a whole new production. So they couldn't keep the people on his contracts with their union contracts or whatever, the writers and set designers and all that stuff, because they didn't have a set launch date with their new project for the Obi-Wan thing. So
Right.
they had to let everybody go off of their contracts because there's union rules. That doesn't mean that everybody's not going to get picked right back up. But as soon as they let everybody go off of their union contracts, that's when all the media went crazy and started saying, oh, Obi-Wan show's canceled. No, it has nothing to do with that. That's not how the business worked. They had to let them go. They didn't have a choice because they didn't have an on paper set start date. So they couldn't have people just sitting around lingering around on a contract when there is no contract.
Right.
That's all it was. But I imagine they went back to rewrite to bridge into this new world. And Obi-Wan's a great character to do that with because Obi-Wan's got the Jedi and he's got all the history and blah, blah, blah. And this whole new Yoda crap, this new baby Yoda thing in Mandalorian will obviously play into some sort of ancient stuff with this whole new world and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. The new novel came out for Star Wars because we're on that vein, and boy, they're trying to recon everything. They're trying to clean up the mess. I don't know if you heard about all that, but that's some interesting stuff about the whole Palpatine stuff and why he was back, and that's a whole other discussion.
Oh
But
yeah,
that's some,
why his clone doesn't look anything like
oh
him?
god, his clone and his son, who is Rey's father, was really a clone of himself.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really exist. He's just a clone. Mess.
Yeah, they're gonna try and clean up the mess and just make it worse. Unfortunately,
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to clean it up all in the novel, and it's not quite going over well. But some of the explanations they're doing does provide a good story, provide a good explanation. It's just you. What's sad about the whole Star Wars stuff is we all can see with our own eyes what happened. Is they had no direction. They had no set plans for all this. They kind of played it by ear. They allowed Ryan Johnson to come in and really screw everything up, and then they brought JJ back in to clean up Ryan Johnson's mess. And it was two
Hmm.
filmmakers at war with each other without the story involved. It was a gross mess, a gross mess. But hell, it could have been worse. I mean, Transformers. Look at what freaking having Transformers. Jesus Christ! I love Transformers.
Yeah, I
And
know.
every single
I do too. The only one I didn't like was Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh, that's my favorite one. Are you kidding? I can see why.
Really?
I love that. That's like my guilty pleasure. I
Not
freaking
like
love
that one at all.
Kids in Mud Flat, love them. In fact, I have Rise of the Fallen toys here. But that's a guilty pleasure. I know how bad those films are. I absolutely realize how bad
Mhm.
those films are. The last two of that franchise, terrible, terrible, terrible films. But they kept making money. They kept making billions of dollars, so they kept making them.
Yep.
So,
It's like
and that's what
people will pay to see them. I don't know why, but
because they're fun. I'd go right now if there was another Michael Bay film. God help us all. But Bumblebee was good.
I'm sorry.
Bumblebee, huh?
Which one?
Bumblebee.
Oh yeah, Bumblebee was good. So yeah, the only one I didn't like was
Well,
Revenge
well,
of the
first,
Fallen.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
only one I didn't like.
See, that's my favorite. Oh my god, I love that film. Is so kooky. That film is so just so much. The only one that I really absolutely hated and like, I've never rewatched it. Can't sit through it. Is The Last Night. The Last Night is absolutely terrible. I mean, just
Yeah,
terrible, terrible,
I
terrible.
agree.
Oh god, it's terrible. But the other Mark Wahlberg one is, shit. But the third one I actually really like. I like the back half of the third one with the whole Chicago War and everything. It's good
Hmm.
filming. It's good stuff. Anyway, God, we're already been babbling on about an hour. Jesus. So wrapping up,
Yes,
we'll do some house cleaning right now. Is tomorrow night we got something very special. We hope. We
we're
hope. We hope. So
hoping.
we may have an on-site report from either an A meet and greet or a live opening performance of Billy Idol
Yes.
tomorrow night. So stay
Stay
tuned. Stay
tuned
tuned
for that.
for late night snacks, and hopefully we got Diana out there. Diana is going to meet Billy Idol tomorrow night. She doesn't know if she's going to be able to get a message to us or to get a live thing to us. She's going to try whatever she can do. You know, this is her husband's job, but she has promised she's going to go live at the performance so that we can, at least see a bit of it while she's there. So that's exciting. So tomorrow night, Billy Idol here on the snacks. We're not sure what time.
Yes.
Um, Saturday.
Saturday,
Saturday we got RuPaul.
Saturday
Saturday
we've got
we
RuPaul.
RuPaul this week, but with season 12 and our computer issues this last week, with season 12 being the two-part premiere, it's got the first half of the girls last week and the second half tomorrow night. We're gonna do Saturday's recap show with everybody, with all
All
13
together.
girls, all together.
So it's probably going to go. The Saturday stream is going to probably go a little bit longer than normal because we're combining two into one.
Yes.
So
So every Saturday for the next several weeks now, you can expect a RuPaul recap, and then Thursday will be regular snacks, different things. We're looking at inviting some folks on to share in the conversation throughout our Thursday shows, and we'll be playing it by ear. But again, this week, Billy Idol tomorrow, RuPaul on Saturday, regular snacks on Thursday. So if there's anything you guys want us to talk about coming this Thursday, let us know.
yes, please.
We've got an open agenda for Thursday.
All of our social media is listed down below, and you can get in touch with us through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So any ideas are very welcome, and
Absolutely.
we look forward to hearing from you guys.
Yes. Tonight's wand brought to you by Thursday. I have been promising a present. I am hoping to do a small teaser, very, 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 very small teaser on the wand haul on Thursday.
Oh yes,
I'm going to reveal because I took down a bunch of stuff. I'm changing a bunch of stuff. But I got some really, really exciting stuff happening in there. So I am looking at a way to do a small tease. So those of you guys that have been waiting to see the wand haul, I may have a little bit for you on Thursday, and then as soon as I do a small tease, a small reveal, then it would be every weekly on Thursday.
We did a little bit more.
Until we have the full reveal. So that may be coming on Thursday. We'll see. I'm not promising. But tonight's wand is in the Nymphadora Tonks. Anybody remember who she is? I picked her tonight because she reminded me of Ian.
Aw.
Hi, Ian. Yay. Go see Onward, please.
Go see Anya. You will not be disappointed.
Oh, you want? It's got something for everybody. Everybody's there. Go see it opening weekend. Give the movie some love. Opening weekend. Get the numbers up there so that this is not historically Disney's or Pixar's failure. Because if this becomes Pixar's failure, the narrative is going to get lost. It's going to be blamed on so many other things than just simply the fact that they didn't promote this thing right. So go see it. Take your friends, take your family, take everybody. Take the guy off the street.
Let's see.
Record say we're going to go to the movies.
Looking at time, we've got about 10 more minutes. Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
Anybody? Nuga story.
Any questions from anybody? Let's see.
Nuga story.
Let's see. Ewan McGregor.
What about him?
Okay. Ewan McGregor did an interview. I'm just reading Buffy's. Oh, well, that's good. I thought he walked away from the project for some.
No, he's still 100% on that. Yeah, no, he's still there.
Thank you for letting us know. I appreciate that because I did not know that.
Yep. What else we got? Any other questions?
What we got here?
Questions, concerns, comments, or songs?
I think that's it, pretty much.
All right. Well, we will do. Well, if anybody wants us to do any after you see the movie or whatever, doing spoiler talk, we can. I'm just kind of sensitive about that.
We didn't want to. We really want to do that tonight because the movie's just now being released.
There's a lot to talk about in this movie. A lot.
Yeah.
So we can at a later date talk some spoilers if you want.
And we can do another show about it where we can actually talk about the spoilers if you guys are interested in finding those out. But we just didn't want to spoil anything for anybody.
Yeah. This is the type of movie, because of the emotion involved and the heart involved behind it, that you really need to see it as it unfolds. Because the emotion really follows that kind of narrative where it's got to build up to it. So you don't want to be spoiled on it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, BRT. Ooh, catch you on the fly. Oh wait, American Horror Story stuff. We'll do some coverage on that too this week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There is some news.
So yes, we will also be having some American Horror Story news.
Yeah, we have decided. The group has decided this week that we will be covering in full season 10. So spread the word. We didn't know how we were going to handle that, and we decided as collectively as a group that we were going to go ahead and handle season 10 as largely as we can, full season 10 coverage. So because season 10 is looking to be a special season, maybe the secret season.
They already started. From what I understand, they already started filming.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a summer release, June release, I believe, and June or July release, and so we're early. So we will be doing the full coverage for it. So get the word out. Come over to Snax, talk some American Horror Story, and
because
we'll on the news on weekly what's going on. We won't. I don't think we'll be going live and stuff specifically for a specific news, but we will be covering the news each week as more developments comes in. This week, as far as news, just the casting news we talked about last week, and then the filming just started. So we do believe that it is the secret season. I think that's kind of the consensus.
That would be nice because otherwise they don't start filming for the new season until what? June?
August.
Yeah. August? And they just announced that they started filming this week.
Yep. So very, very realistically could drop in June.
And our plan is to hopefully go live after the show airs.
Yes.
That night.
That's something we have discussed here at the Snax. Is what we've missed is a live show to discuss immediately following the episodes, and it looks like that's what our plan is for this season. Season 10, we will have live coverage immediately following the episode time zone. We'll
Yeah,
figure out time zone
we'll
which
get that
episode.
all figured out. But do spread the word because we'd love to have everybody come out and hang out with us because I think this is going to be a really fun season.
Yeah, it's good cast. Great, great cast.
Very much so. And on that note, we are going to bid you guys adieu, and we will be popping in tomorrow. Not exactly sure what time.
Watch
So
social media.
keep your eyes peeled for that. And then we'll also be back on Saturday for an extra long RuPaul stream to cover both parts of the premiere.
Yes, absolutely.
So you guys have a great rest of your evening, and we will be seeing you guys soon. Take care, guys. Bye.
And no, we're not.